For weeks, baby Emma hadn't smiled, not once. Her parents tried everything, lullabies, toys, funny faces. Nothing worked. The house felt heavy, quiet, almost hopeless. But then one morning, their tiny German Shepherd puppy did something no one expected. And what happened next would change their lives forever. Before we start, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The house used to be full of laughter. At least that's what Emma's parents had imagined before she was born. They dreamed of giggles echoing through the halls, of sleepy smiles after bedtime stories. But reality was heartbreakingly different. For one long year, their baby girl hadn't smiled once. Not a laugh. Not even a tiny curl of the lips every morning began the same way. Emma's mother leaned over the crib, whispering soft lullabies, trying silly faces, even playing her favorite songs. But Emma's wide blue eyes only stared back quietly, as if trapped in a world of her own silence. And in that quiet home where every smile felt lost, there was one small creature who noticed it all, a 4-month-old German Shepherd puppy named Max. He was full of energy, curiosity, and love. But lately, even Max could sense the sadness in the air. The house was silent until he decided to change that. One quiet morning, as sunlight filtered through the nursery curtains, Max padded softly across the floor. His little paws made almost no sound, but his curious eyes took in everything: the crib, the soft blankets, and the tiny human who never seemed to smile. He tilted his head, ears perked, watching baby Emma with quiet fascination. She lay still, her eyes following the slow movement of the mobile above her. Then, with a tiny whine, Max took another step forward. He rested his paw gently on the edge of her blanket, as if trying to say, "Hey, are you okay?" Emma blinked. For a brief moment, her eyes met his, and something shifted. The air in the room no longer felt heavy. Her mother, sitting nearby, watched the scene unfold with a soft gasp. She didn't move, afraid to break the moment. Max let out a small huff, then curled up beside the crib, resting his head on his paws. His tail gave a single slow wag, like a promise. From that day on, he stayed close, always watching, always waiting. Something inside him seemed to know that this baby needed more than comfort. She needed hope. Days turned into weeks, and a quiet rhythm settled into the house. Max and baby Emma became inseparable in their own gentle way. Wherever the crib went, Max was close behind, a small guardian with big brown eyes and an even bigger heart. When Emma napped, he lay beneath her crib, his tail thumping softly every time she stirred. When she cried, he would let out tiny whines as if echoing her sadness. He brought her his favorite toy one morning, a small stuffed bear already missing one ear, and dropped it beside her blanket, waiting for any reaction. Her parents watched from the doorway, amazed. It was as if Max understood something they didn't, like he was trying to make her feel something. Anything. Then, one golden morning, everything began to change. Sunlight spilled across the room, catching dust motes that danced in the air. Max was lying beside the crib, half asleep, when he heard a sound, soft, almost like a sigh. Emma's lips had parted. A small, breathy sound escaped, not a cry, not quite a word, but close to a giggle. Her mother froze. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. Max's ears shot up. He stood, tail wagging, eyes wide with excitement. He stepped closer, gently nudging her blanket with his nose, and then he barked. Not loud, just a single playful woof. Emma blinked at him, her eyes sparkling with something new. Something that looked a lot like joy. For a heartbeat, the world stood still. Emma's eyes widened, locked on the furry little face in front of her. Max tilted his head, ears perked, tail wagging cautiously, waiting. Then, with another soft bark, playful, curious, he leaned forward and licked her tiny hand. And that's when it happened. A sound, light as air but powerful enough to stop time. Emma laughed, a tiny, bubbling giggle that filled the entire room like sunshine breaking through clouds. Her mother gasped, her hands flying to her mouth. She laughed, she whispered, tears already forming in her eyes. Her father came running from the kitchen, wide-eyed. "What happened?" She laughed, her mother repeated, voice trembling. "She's laughing." Max, startled by their excitement, jumped back for a moment, then barked again, wagging his tail so fast it was a blur. Emma laughed even harder, kicking her little feet. her whole face glowing with joy. The sound was pure magic, fragile, innocent, and full of life. Max barked again, circling her crib in delight. Emma's laughter followed him like music, echoing off the walls, chasing away weeks of silence in a single moment. Her mother was crying now, laughing through the tears. "You did it, Max," she whispered. "You made her smile." Emma reached out, tiny fingers brushing against his fur. Max leaned in, resting his head gently against her hand as if he understood exactly what he'd done. In that moment, the sadness that had once filled the house melted away. It was replaced by something simple, beautiful, and real, the sound of a baby's first laugh, and a puppy's joy at hearing it. From that moment on, Max and Emma were inseparable. Wherever she went, he followed, a small shadow with soft fur and endless loyalty. During nap time, he slept curled beside her crib. When she learned to crawl, he moved gently beside her, always careful, as if he knew she was fragile. As Emma grew, so did their friendship. Her laughter became the heartbeat of the home, and Max was always the reason behind it. When she took her first steps, he was there, walking beside her, steady and patient. When she fell, he nudged her hand, urging her to try again. Her parents often watched from the doorway, their eyes shining with quiet gratitude. "We prayed for a smile," her mother would whisper, "and God sent us one with 4 paws." Years later, photos of baby Emma and puppy Max still hang in their hallway, reminders of the day a single laugh changed everything. Some people say love heals, but that day proved something even deeper. Sometimes love doesn't need words at all. Just a heartbeat and a wagging tail. That day, one tiny puppy gave a baby her very first laugh, and in doing so, he gave a family their hope back. From then on, every giggle, every smile, every joyful sound carried the memory of that moment, the day love found its voice. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true and heartwarming stories like this one, because sometimes the most extraordinary miracles come from the simplest bonds between a baby who needed a reason to smile and a puppy who refused to stop trying.